Yo, what's up, bro? Welcome to Hot Takes with Chedda Chaz with no hand holding. We deal with facts, not emotion. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification if you haven't already. Shout out to Miller Lite, DraftKings, and Topo Chico. You should support them because they support us. I just finished watching that Pacers and Boston game, and it just leaves me so frustrated, dog, because like it's just I'm so tired. Like I'm so tired of the Pelicans, dog. Y'all don't know. I'm nearing my retirement doing these kind of shows. Like, my podcast life is coming to an end soon. But it's like I'm so tired of the Pelicans just wasting fucking time, dog. I'm so tired of the Pelicans just playing pretend and insulting my intelligence. Like I've watched a lot of the benefit of the Pelicans being eliminated from the playoffs. It allows me to watch other teams play basketball without any type of fan attachment. I can be 100% objective, right? So when I'm watching these teams, like the pace of the game, Jaylen Brown tonight hitting a huge three, Jason Tatum hitting a huge three, Therese Halliburton hitting huge threes, the offensive rebounding, the facilitating, the just getting to the rim, all these things, the defense. I'm really watching, asking myself, like, what team what team could use like Brandon Ingram and Larry Nance? Like which one of these teams saying, damn, we would have won tonight if we had Brandon Ingram, or we would have won tonight if we had Larry Nance? I just don't see it, dog. I just don't see it. So to me, in my opinion, every day that goes, every day David Griffin wakes up and Brandon Ingram and Larry Nance remains on the team, there should be a flogging. There should be a flogging, because that is it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable, bro. Like just go get Trae Young, dog. Like just go get him, dog. Just go get him. Just go get him. Go get Darius Garland, dog. Just go get him. You know what I'm saying? Just go get him. Whatever it takes. Because you got avenues to make other moves if necessary. The Pelicans are already in off season too late in this process. The Pelicans should have made a decision this past off season to move off of Brandon. Pause. But now you stuck in a situation to where you might try to trick yourself into saying, well, if he takes a pay cut, we give him a short-term extension. Maybe he'll recoup some value. Nah, that shit ain't gonna work. That you lying. You lying to me, and you lying to yourself. Because what happens in those situations is teams will extend a player and say, well, he's gonna earn it later, or he's gonna recoup some value, and then we'll trade him. But oftentimes, once those players start playing well, you don't want to move off of them. Now you're like, well, he figured it out, so let's keep him. And then they go right back to bullshit. The window closes, and they go right back to the bullshit they were doing before. I'm just like, dog, watching Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum and even like Drew Holiday, some of the possessions he had, offensive boards, Derek White hitting a big layup at the end of the game. It's just like the Pelicans so far behind, bro. They so far behind, dog. The only like the only like real comparison I can see is when Zion had the 40 versus the Lakers in the play-in. Like it takes that when your roster is so shallow, it takes that level of talent to put the team over the hump. And as you can see, he wasn't even able to do it in that game. He gets hurt with a freak injury, hamstring thing. Brandon's benched. CJ comes in. CJ hits a couple of shots, but he was benched also. So, you brought him in after, Zion goes down. And it's just like, motherfucker, if you was decent, throughout the entirety of the game, maybe this game isn't as taxing on the Zion. Maybe you have the lead. Maybe you're able to pull off that victory and you're in the playoffs, and now this guy has more time to rest. Or if the Pelicans just handle their business during this season, maybe you're comfortably in the playoffs. The Pelicans were literally, I think, one game from being the 6th seed. One game, son. But you make the playoffs anyway, and you just get embarrassed. You get swept. It wasn't even close. You didn't even have a puncher's chance. And your most precious trade asset just plays this awful, like just god fucking awful, bruh. And now I'm looking at it like, if I examine the team, let's just say your core four. Let's say Zion, Brandon, Trae, and Herb. There's only one top 25, top 30 player in that. You know what I'm saying? Even if you expand to like top 40, there's only one top 40 player in that lineup. You know what I'm saying? And you got guys who are around the edges who are creeping into the top 40. Like, you got the DeJounte Murrays, you got Jamal Murray, you got the Tatum guy. I mean, I'm sorry, you got the Jays in Boston, you got Derek White excelling, you got Ant taking the next step, you got Jalen Green ending the year on a high note, you got Sagoon, you got Wemby, you got other young players who have higher ceilings, who are being maximized by their organizations, and they're taking the leap. Like I was telling the guys today, I was like, man, if the Spurs get like Garland or Trae Young, it's like over for the Pelicans damn near, because that's one less playoff spot. That's one less playoff spot for real. Like, if the Spurs weren't tanking this year, if Ja doesn't, have his situation this year, the Pelicans are probably like what, the 9th seed or some shit. Like, if Phoenix isn't like hurt, or like if the Warriors aren't hurt, Pelicans are comfortably, firmly in the play-in at best. In the play-in at best. And even you can say that about the Clippers. If the Clippers play better this year, or ain't, going through whatever they're going through, Pelicans not even really in the conversation for the playoffs. So there's no logical reason, there's no financial reason, there's no like team build reason, there's no potential reason, there's no ceiling reason to keep this team together, to keep this team as is. You don't have to go all in right now. Personally, what I would be doing, since the Phoenix Suns let go a couple of their GMs, or a couple of their front office people today, and they brought in a new salary cap expert from Brooklyn. I would be trying to get as many tradable, contracts and attractive assets. So if any event Devin Booker next season, not this upcoming season, the following season, he said he want out, man, I'm cashing in every chip for Devin Booker. Ain't too many people off the table. Like, it for me, it's Zion and Trae. That's the two that's off the table in that scenario, and that's probably negotiable, to be real. Like, but man, come on, bro. Like, you need motherfucking gamers to compete, though. You like, who the Pelicans really got? If you want to say, you look at guys like Luka and Kyrie, and you say, who do the Pelicans have even potentially on that level? You're gonna say Zion. Like, it's not Zion and Brandon and this person. No, it's Zion. It's one person, and he can't even seem to stay healthy. So that means you would have to have such a solid roster to, in the event that he does go down, you can stay afloat. And that's where a guy like Trae Young comes in. That's where, like, real deal gamers, star players with superstar potential, superstar caliber players come into play. I like DeJounte Murray. That's not who DeJounte Murray is. And I'm a fan of DeJounte Murray. I do think DeJounte Murray can win you some games, but he's not like I'm going to carry this team by myself kind of guy. He would need a lot of support in that area. Shout out to him. I like Darius Garland. I don't think that's Darius Garland's thing neither. He could always go back to that all-star caliber player he was a couple seasons ago. I think a lot of his struggles just because of, like, he keep getting hit in the face, for one, pause. And on top of that, he's that pairing with Mitchell just doesn't work. Like, it just doesn't work. But you gotta go get some dudes, man. You gotta get players who have a chance to be the best player in any given series. You gotta do that. And right now, Brandon is probably a Drew Holiday tier player at best. And that might kind of be insulting to Drew Holiday. because Drew Holiday, multiple time All-Star. He was an All-Star early in his career. All defensive teams champion, bona fide. He's a Hall of Famer. Like he's at this point, if he wins a ring this year, Hall of Famer easily. Easily Hall of Famer. And he's the fucking fourth option in Boston. When he won his ring in Milwaukee, he was the third option. Imagine asking, Drew had to be traded because he was incapable of being the first or second option. So you're asking a player who's probably not on the level of Drew Holiday as far as his effectiveness and his contribution to winning. You're asking that level of player to be the best or second best player on a serious team. And I'm not even talking about a championship contender. I'm talking about a good team. I'm not even talking about great. Good team. You're asking that dude, and like, come on, man. Brandon going on 5 head coaches. You got Luke Walton, Frank Vogel, Elvin Gentry, Stan Van Gundy, Willie Green. That's 5 head coaches in an 8-year career. 5 head coaches. Like, let's move on, bro. It's so frustrating watching David Griffin slow walk this. Traditionally, trades tend to happen a lot more, post draft or during the draft, shit like that. But for me, I need a decision made tomorrow. I need a decision made at fucking dawn. I'm doing this game Tuesday night. I'm doing this show Tuesday night. I need a motherfucking decision made at dawn. You know what I'm saying? At dawn. Cause it's just like, bruh, like, look at these dudes out there hooping. Even like Siakam had a couple fucking blunders tonight, but even Siakam, all NBA player, all defense, multiple time All-Star, NBA champion. Look at the pedigree you talking about with these dudes. Halliburton is probably, if Halliburton ain't all NBA this year, something is crazy. Halliburton, all NBA player, young dude, you know what I'm saying? Young out there balling. He had Boston in trouble, dog. That motherfucker had Boston in trouble. Boston had young players out there balling, contributing. Then you got TJ out there balling, contributing. Like, people want Jose, like he's gonna blossom into a TJ. No, it ain't gonna happen. No, that ain't a development issue. That's a talent issue. TJ is just like, come on, bro. Like, motherfucker. Like, how much better do people think like some of these players get? Like, sometimes the motherfucker just at where they at, like they're not gonna get no better. You might have already seen the best version of those players. Like, you might have already seen it. They might have already had reached their zenith, and now there's they trying to just level out and be consistent. But nah, bro, it ain't no way. Like, ain't no, oh well, we can just play Larry some limited minutes and we can rest. No, brother, no. Larry is who he is. Larry is a minimum player. Larry is a minimum salary player making $11 million on a play-in team. No, fuck out of here. No, indeed, Lord. No, indeed. What? Like, nah. Dyson Daniels. You can get Dyson Daniels off the street. You could have got Matisse Thybulle and saved about $6 million. Well, probably about 5. Saved about $5 million, dog. That's a lottery pick. That's a minimum salary player. You're paying close to $6 million to give you nothing. Like, to get benched in the playoffs, couldn't give you nothing, couldn't give you a motherfucking thing. Jordan Hawkins, he ain't getting no run. That's all potential at this point. But yeah, and still, if you wasn't gonna give him no run, you had Matt Ryan. You found Matt Ryan, and you have Jordan Hawkins, right? Both kind of do about the same thing. Of course, Jordan Hawkins is more talented than Matt Ryan and younger, but you got Matt Ryan on a minimum. So if you knew you wasn't going to use Jordan Hawkins and develop them, I don't know how the fuck they ain't know, because I knew. If you knew you wasn't going to use Jordan Hawkins and develop him, why draft him in the lottery? Why even do that? Because now you paying a person who gave you the equivalent of a minimum salary player $4-5 million. Like, why even go that route? Like, why even invest in something like that when you know you're not gonna, like, that money could be better utilized elsewhere? You know what I'm saying? That you could have, Like you could have even like not that this guy is some world beater, but you could have got fucking Bismack Biyombo to give you like Larry's minutes. Like he had a hell of a run in Boston. I'm sorry, in Memphis this season. Like you could have rounded the edges with you. Maybe you even could have went and got a what's homie, man, Malik Beasley. Maybe you could have even went and got Malik Beasley off the scrap heap. You know what I'm saying? There's players you could have went and gotten to where you could have better rounded out the roster in the event of injury or in the event of just wanting to shift to a different brand of basketball. Because truthfully, injury wasn't the issue this year. Injury was not the issue this year. Even when you go back to when Brandon went down, Brandon was averaging. People like, well, they were the number 1 seed until Brandon, number 4 seed until Brandon went down. It's like, the fuck are you talking about? Like, what are you talking about? Brandon was averaging like 16 points. Brandon was playing terrible. I did a whole show about his shooting percentages and all that. Brandon was terrible. He was terrible during that stretch. Him going down, if Brandon stays healthy, the Pelicans probably don't even make the 7th seed. Truthfully, like the Pelicans probably again firmly in the play-in because Brandon's his style, his game is not really catered toward, the way Phoenix is playing right now. It's not catered toward the way Milwaukee is playing. It's not catered toward what's another team that they beat? Another big victory, Miami. Like it's not really catered toward defeating teams like that. You know what I'm saying? His brand of play just isn't, best suited versus those type of teams. So you probably would have dropped several of those games, which would have totally just put you out of the conversation for the playoffs, right? Put you firmly in the play-in. I mean, it's just, oh my God, bro. It's just, come on, dog. Like, it's time to move on. I need this decision made in the fucking AM. You know what I'm saying? They got some options on the table. It's to the point where if I knew what the goal was, if they wanted to go into next year as a developmental year, I'm like, all right. Sometimes you got to take one step back and take 2 steps forward. And moving on from Brandon, that's not really, it's more of a retooling than a rebuild. And I was saying that when the Scoot shit was happening, I'm like, losing Brandon ain't really like no significant type loss. Like that's something you can easily like replace. And you saw that again, this is the second year in a row that you saw when Brandon went down, he was easy to replace. Second year in a row. It's just like, God, come on, bro. Come on, dog. Like that, but they got some options. Like, you got the Magic trade out there. I'm not a huge fan of it. I like Suggs. I like Isaac a lot. I like Cole Anthony. Those are good valuable mid contracts that you can package and move again when you want to go big game hunting. And you still got your draft capital. You still got CJ McCollum's contract. You can package that. You can do things. You know what I'm saying? That Magic trade, that will give you some depth. Whatever. Give some that. Suggs is good. Isaac is a hell of a defender. Isaac and Herb Jones would be crazy. That would be crazy, right? Hell of a defender. I've been a fan of Cole Anthony for a while now. Smart player. Got some experience as a 6th man. Can start. Hell of a player. Then you got, the Trae Young thing. Well, to me, man, I think that's come on, bro. Like that's the number one option. Honestly. We've heard some things, the Pelicans seem to have some interest in like Evan Mobley, and I like Evan Mobley, but that's still a potential play. And I don't think Evan Mobley is no max rookie extension player. I just don't think that. So if you wanted to slow walk this, then I understand the Evan Mobley thing. If next year was going to be a development year and you still searching for the right pieces to pair with Zion, Evan, Trae, and Herb, you're looking for that final piece, understand it. Ain't mad at it. Understand it. But I think Evan Mobley is easier to replace than a Darius Garland or a Trae Young. I think big men are a lot easier to go out there and find as projects and like develop them and coach them up, even though the Pelicans haven't shown any ability to do that. I think that's, of course, that's what coaching comes into play. I think those people are easier to do. Like you saw Derek Lively balling in the playoffs this season, rookie, giving them great minutes out there. You got a guy like Nick Richards, who I'm a fan of, probably shouldn't use the word fan, but who I would love for the Pelicans to go out there and get in Charlotte. He started a lot this season with Mark Williams' injuries. Even Mark Williams, if you want to take a risk on a guy who's been really injured, like you think Zion been injury prone, Brandon been injury prone, Mark Williams has been injury prone. So maybe you see a situation with Charlotte just ready to pivot. You can't have LaMelo and Mark Williams, like just like you can't have Zion and Brandon. You gotta pick a struggle in that situation. I like Jared Allen. I don't really like the idea of a trade centered around Jared Allen for the same reason I just said about Mobley. It's because it's, to me, you could get a rim running big. Now Jared Allen's a lot more than that. I don't want to insult Jared Allen like that, but I do think you just need a Jared Allen type. It's easier to get than a dynamic all-star, caliber guard, star caliber point guard. I just think that, Jared Allen types are a little bit easier to get. Jared Allen's on an incredible contract. He's been really good since he was in Brooklyn, but I just think he's a, if Cleveland said one or the other, it's Garland for me 10 times out of 10. 10 times out of 10. This is a guards league, yet and still. Well, this is a perimeter league. This is perimeter league. I know people see Jokic and shit like that. Jokic is an anomaly. Embiid is an anomaly. This is a perimeter league. This ain't, Jokic got 3 MVPs, but Jokic ain't like winning back-to-back championships and no shit. Joel ain't never even been to the finals. Until the motherfuckers win back-to-back championships, until they start stacking some rings, stacking some banners, this is still a perimeter league. You need premier, elite perimeter players. And that's where Trae Young comes in. That's where, I wouldn't necessarily call Darius Garland elite, but he certainly showed flashes of that and showed the potential to be that in the past. Some of the other trades I don't like. I wasn't crazy about nothing dealing with Miami, to be honest. Like Detroit, I'm not a huge Duren fan. I think Duren is cool, but I'm not like a huge, Duren fan. Ivy, they didn't beat all the confidence out of Ivy. Like he just, maybe he is a guy who needs a new scenery so he could blossom. If it was a situation like, all right, you're getting Ivy, you're getting Duren, you're getting a bunch of picks, cool. Take a step back to take 2-3 steps forward. Excellent. I ain't mad at it. But then you got the other people, like the more quiet targets, like Houston. Maybe you holler at Houston, be like, yo, what's up? You know what I'm saying? I know y'all looking for a wing. Maybe Michael isn't an option for y'all. So what's up? Y'all want Brandon for that number 3 pick and Jabari? What y'all trying to do? Like, what's popping? Get Jabari, or maybe Jalen. Because I know they was interested. Well, they was interested in moving on from Jalen. Jalen's wildly inconsistent. Jabari, I'm just over that type of player. Like, you know what I'm saying? If Jabari was going to be a full-time 5, a stretch 5, cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Excellent. That's what's up. But until I don't really know. Like, I don't really know. For me, I think you go with the talent. To me, the talent is Jalen in that situation. I know he's wildly inefficient, but Jalen, because I don't think the Pelicans would want a Sagoon. Sagoon is nice. Sagoon is nice, but I don't think they would want him because Sagoon is like super JV. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they would want him, too much. Truthfully, other people out there, at this point, I'm just thinking about elite talent that might be available, bro. I don't really care about the picks and all that shit as a return because I just think the first in order of priorities, my number one priority as a front office would be, I got to get this dude off the team. I got to get Brandon off the team. The coaches don't like him. He don't like the coaches. We gotta motherfucker gonna be expensive. The fit ain't there. You know what I'm saying? He going on year 9. This is gonna be, if we fire Willie Green for him, this is gonna be his 6th coach. Got to get him off the team, just period. The second on my priority list would be get something good for him. Like, that's my priorities if I'm the front office. Like, what's the absolute best I can get for this dude? And then I would go on from there. I would build from there. And I like the AD trade, if I'm not mistaken, the AD trade was before the draft. So, but they had already been negotiating that. It was like a 1-team race essentially. So, man, I just go ahead and pull the trigger. I pulled the trigger today. So just in case James Borrego gets hired by the Lakers, I can hurry up and fill that void. I can figure out, like, all right, what do I need to supplement that like Zion and the assets I just got back for this BI trade. What else do I need? Like if it's just for a guard, okay, cool. Now let me start working the phones with Larry contract, with Dyson contract, with whoever contract, and see if I can get a big. Let me call Charlotte and see if they want to do, since LaMelo got injuries, let me see if they want to do like Jose for Nick Richards in a second round pick or protected first. Let me try to do that. Like, but you got to move now. You don't want to be under the gun, you know what I'm saying, behind the 8 ball with this shit, because the Pelicans they're already off season behind. They're already off season behind. The Pelicans always, a step too slow. Like the Pelicans not even a bridesmaid. They the bitch who couldn't even get in the wedding. Couldn't even get in the wedding. Bitch ain't even getting no tickets. Couldn't RSVP, couldn't do nothing. Just wasn't even invited. Ain't nobody +1, ain't nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? The Pelicans always talking about what they tried to do. We tried to trade up for Jaden Ivey. Shit ain't work. Flighters. Yeah, exactly. Trade Jose now. Like, you know what I'm saying, bro? Trade Jose now. Jose is a guy who's had some injury issues as well. Trade bro now. Sell the idea of, yo, last time you saw Jose was balling. You know what I'm saying? He dealt with a few injury issues, and he a team option. So he gonna want to get paid. Like, that's not no dude you give no fucking $7, $8, $10 million to. Like, no, indeed, bro. What is we doing? Come on, cousin. Like, let's stop this. Y'all don't understand how frustrated I am after watching this Boston game. Like, this Boston and Indiana game, dog. Like, if you had to rank the players in this series, let's say talent-wise, let's say you got Tatum, Zion, Brown, Drew, because KP not playing. What? No, let me do this again. Tatum, Zion, Halliburton, and Brown is a little dicey, but I'm gonna say Brown, Halliburton, Drew, then come Brandon, probably, maybe, like, and because it's Brandon and Derek White, like, kind of in a weird thing. It's just pause, but still, like, come the fuck on, man. Just go ahead and just rip the band-aid off. That's just move on, bro. I'm so tired of these. I'm retiring soon. I told you I'm retiring soon. Oh, by the way, I got like 4 shows I'm doing in June on Bleacher Report. I got 4 shows I'm doing in June on Bleacher Report Live. I'm gonna drop the link when I do it. I'm like pinning in the comments on one of these videos so y'all can check it out. But y'all should get the notification. You download the Bleacher Report app. Like I was telling the fellas, like in like last season, I was like, man, I don't know. Like I'm not even really supposed to be doing this now. I was gonna stop doing it in December because it take a lot of time to do. You gotta watch all the games. Like for me, if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna try to be good at what I do. I'm gonna watch all the games. I'm gonna try to know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm gonna watch the rest of the league. I'm gonna try to be efficient. That's what Bleacher Report calls me. I'm gonna try to be efficient. But that shit kind of time consuming. That's why I'm kind of happy that the team is out to a degree, because I get to watch a bunch of basketball and I don't have to over analyze it. I don't have to be like, oh well, how would this look, or what could this team like? I can just watch it and be a fan of the sport. And right now, some great basketball being played. But I'm gonna go ahead, man, close the show out. Like it's been more of a vent session than an actual topic. I ain't really got no. At this point, I'm just like, man, just go big, pause, and get the talent. Get the most talent you could get, bro. Go get Trae Young. Like, nothing, like, everything else is secondary. Like, go get Trae Young, dog. Go get him. Like, if it's possible, go get him, bro. Go get him. It can't cost that much. Just go get him, dog. Like, it's like, bro, this is exhausting. Like, all the shit we know about this team. See, that's the thing. That's why it's not always good. Until you think Herb take a step back since he met. I think Herb played as well as he could play this season in certain aspects. Like, I think I've said this on the show. Like, to me, under Willie Green coaching regime, Herb has peaked. This is as good as it gets for Herb under Willie Green, in my opinion. I don't think Herb can get better defensively. Now, what Herb can get better at is, rebound and stuff like that. But I think offensively is where Herb still has a lot of like, maybe a lot is a strong word, but where Herb has some like untapped potential. So I think if you got a offensive system that other guys are willing to buy into, like Herb cutting to the rim, facilitating somewhat, just creating a bit off the dribble, like it would be fire. It would be fire. I think Herb at in that regard has more to offer, but I think on the defensive end, I think Herb, I don't think can get much better for him. And under Willie Green, I think Herb's offense is peaked. I'm on IG Live. That's why I'm looking this way. But yeah, man, just I don't know, man. Leave y'all comments. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check me out when I do the Bleach Report. Then I'm gonna keep y'all posted. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, dog, like this. I'm tired. I'm tired of waking up and these dudes still on the team, dog. I'm tired of waking up. Larry and them still on. I go to spottrack.com to, look at some trades, kind of look at some financials with the team. Larry and Brandon still on the roster. Like, come on, dog. Like, come on, bro. Like, what is we doing, bro? What is we fucking doing? Like, it's just pathetic at this point, cause it's pathetic. But yeah, man, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification. I'm out, man. I'm gonna holler at y'all. Peace.